The U.S. flew in to Caracas last night, January 3rd, 2026, and extracted Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, and then they were flown out of the country. Imagine waking up to that. There's footage of explosions happening in the capital city, Caracas. And now you have one of the biggest heads of drug trafficking in the world in American custody. That is pretty insane. That is pretty ridiculous. He is in America, then he will face his charges for several things, including narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, corruption, and related offenses. This man is a mass murderer. Yeah, he's killed tons and tons of people, and he would have kept doing so if this had not happened. People are saying there are either people loving it or hating it. Okay, there are either people freaking out about it or just absolutely adoring it, saying this was an amazing move that should have been done a long time ago. And I will give my point of view on what I think in just a second. But lots of people are obviously asking who's going to run Venezuela. Now that they're out of a president. Check this out. This is Donald Trump during the White House briefing. This is or not technically White House. He wasn't at the White House, but Palm Beach, Florida, and you'll see here what he has to say about it.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious.
So until a safe, proper, and judicious transaction can be made, the U.S. will basically be running Venezuela, and which to a point it's not entirely an evil thing, but you do want the people to have their government back as fast as possible. It's been taken from them for way too long. Now here's the thing: people have been freaking out, okay, saying this is an attack on sovereignty. Trump was not allowed to make this move without permission from Congress. That is not entirely true. Large-scale military invasion and the termination of a drug lord is totally different. One is dealing with a terrorist, literally dealing with a terrorist, and then the other is that's a bigger choice. And usually, if you're starting a war, you have not been instigated. You are choosing to start it. It's not like you've been attacked first or something like that. In this case, we have been going through this for a very long time. It was high time we dealt with it. And do not think the people are freaking out about this, okay? People, the news in Brazil, the leftist news all over the world, leftist news in America, everywhere, they've all been trying to make it seem like, oh, this was just such an invasion of sovereignty. How dare Trump do this? So I'm gonna show you what the people look like. Okay, this is how mad the people are about what the U.S. just did with their country. They are. You're gonna see. This is how mad they are. So, as you can see, very, very frustrated, aren't they? I mean, they're literally celebrating. There's so many videos of this. You can go watch them. Go look them up. I totally encourage you to. Videos everywhere. These people are overjoyed that he has been taken out of power. Overjoyed that Nicolas Maduro is no longer able to crush them. Okay? And he's been doing it for a long time. He's stolen elections. He has continued to be president illegitimately. And furthermore, he has not been recognized as president by the U.S., several other countries around the world, and the UN. Okay? And there were UN people getting mad about this. But he's an illegitimate president, and they know that the UN does not recognize him as president. And any country in their right mind would not recognize this man as president. He does not have that power. He is not president. He just is not president. And this is a wicked, wicked, wicked man. I mean, he's a big-time drug lord. He's done so much to damage his countries in South America, and countries in America. For example, in Brazil, people talk all the time about how scared they are that Brazil will become a type of Venezuela, because they know. I mean, you see their president right now, Lula. He's terrible, and he has the same ideology that Nicolas Maduro had. So you could understand their fear, and then you look at the Venezuelan economy, and you could once again see how dangerous it would be to fall to something like that. Now, here's the great news for Venezuela. Venezuela has lots of oil. Lots and lots of oil. So they could take that, and they could start mass producing that, something that Maduro was not doing. They can now do that. The oil companies will get into it. They'll start making money. Well, as they spend, they'll start making money in return. Countries will start buying, and I could foresee Venezuela becoming a very rich country. Okay, all that. One of the biggest components to a country becoming successful is its leadership. We saw that with El Salvador very quickly. You have Bukele come in, and he changes the whole ball game. And I think that's what you're gonna have to allow yourself to realize and accept. And lots of people, I mean, they're gonna be mad about Trump governing, if you will, Venezuela. They're gonna be mad about that. They're gonna be mad that America's in control of Venezuela. They're gonna be mad, and again, they're gonna use the invasion of sovereignty argument, which I understand. But again, it is necessary right now. That is a necessary thing to do. Venezuela does not really have anyone to lead them at the present moment, but I know that they're already talking to people, already trying to get candidates together. You want to give the people the choice again. So you want to have an election. That's the right thing to do. Whether Trump does that or not, that is the right thing to do. You must give the people a choice and let them choose. Because here's the thing. You must help someone who's down get back on their feet, but then you must let them live their life. Okay, they're human too, you know. You have to give them that choice. And as a country, they must have faith in themselves to a point where I know I can vote. I know I can make good choices. And they've messed up so bad already. I think they learned a pretty good lesson. And then they also, you know, they've been taken advantage of and stolen from. They're not going to want that again. Hopefully they're just not naive and don't take promises from bad people, which is a high possibility. So give them knowledge, help them back up, just do all that. And again, while Trump is in America first president, and he always will be, at the same time, he has helped a lot of other countries, and he's doing it here again. It's nice to see Venezuela appreciating it, and they're definitely going to benefit from this. Absolutely. And like I said with the oil, Trump is going to help with the oil. He's a businessman. He really knows how to deliver on those fronts. I believe he absolutely will. Well, the other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly today was that Zoran Mamdani was sworn in as New York's 112th mayor on January 1st, 2026 in a historic private midnight ceremony at the abandoned old City Hall subway station beneath City Hall. He is the first to ever take his oath on a Quran. That is so stupid. Oh my soul. Like, Bible has been the book of America, and it has been the book on which every person stepping into office has sworn their oath. And now we're going to use the Quran because we want to make a statement to, again, make America less American. I mean, that is the goal, ultimately. That's the goal. Bernie Sanders delivered the oath to thousands of attendees. And AOC was there too. He pledged rent freezes, free buses, universal health care, and childcare, and city-run grocery stores. Which, again, anything that's free and has socialism or communism tied to it, you know it's not free. In the end, it's not free. You're going to be paying for it, and you're going to be paying more for it than you were before. Okay, just saying something is going to be free is not free. What does all this mean? You now have a socialist mayor, a socialist Muslim mayor, as the person ruling your city. Now, this is a massive city, and I've talked about this before. The influence is going to be extraordinary. Okay? And Trump and Mamdani have already talked at the White House. We covered that. You know big things happen there, big agreements, and hopefully ways in which one can help the other, and there won't be confusion, fighting. We really don't need fighting. I don't care if we disagree. We really just don't need fighting. It doesn't help anyone at all. It just makes us look weak. But I think we can make it work, and I think the people, if they come together and they just try to make things happen, they can. But again, you're dealing with a socialist person. That was the biggest mess up in the beginning, was even electing him, and they have. So now they must reap those consequences, and it's not going to be fun. But I mean, your choice is your choice. So you reap what you sow, and hopefully you just make a better choice next time. New York is not going to do well under him. There's just no way that's happening. That is not happening. And so hopefully just you make a better choice next time. But the biggest key part is that Mamdani took it upon himself to do a beautiful gesture. I mean, just an awe-inspiring move that we've never seen before anywhere, ever. Check this out. Look familiar? At all? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Looks pretty familiar. Now, last time we saw this, what was it called? A Nazi Hitler salute. That's exactly what it was called. And it was called that everywhere, too, because Elon Musk was the one who did it. At the time, Elon Musk was the right-hand man of Donald Trump. Of course, if you're associated with Trump, you're gonna get slammed. Because people hate Trump, and so then they will hate you. And they will attack you relentlessly, even if you do something that does not deserve attacking, which is exactly what happened. Elon Musk was simply saying, my heart goes out to you, and then he got called a Nazi everywhere. Now, why is Mamdani not being called a Nazi? Someone explain that to me. He did the same thing. I mean, that is not, okay, that is not the hailing the taxi, okay? That is not patting the dog. That is right in between, and you know what that whole spot in between is. We all know what that is, okay? That is the Sig Heil chasm, we like to call it, okay? That is the spot where you are vulnerable to doing Hitler's famous... So, why is he not being called a Nazi everywhere? Why? No one's calling him Nazi. No one, okay? And Fox News, who's the more conservative group, all they said was, because, well, they didn't say much, was they just pointed you back to Twitter posts freaking out about it, because that's all you needed to see. Those are hilarious. But again, I mean, so this is great because it shows the hypocrisy of the left media. They immediately attacked Elon Musk for doing it, and now they've just totally ignored Zoran Mamdani doing it, which is bad journalism in the first place. Secondly, I mean, it was bad journalism to even call what Elon Musk did Nazi, But if you're going to do it to him, you might as well do it to the other people that do it. Oh, wait. So he's on your side, so you're not going to do it? Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. And there you go. That is biased news. Bias news. Okay, so, again, if you're going to do it to one person, you better do it to the other. What goes around comes around, so let's make sure we're doing that. And it says a lot more about you when you don't than when you do it. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm going to see you next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great one, and God bless.